Hello everyone, my name is Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. We are reacting to another one of Isaac Butterfield's video. This one is called This Is Illegal. I have no idea what this is about. So let's get right into it and check it out, shall we?
With governments all over the world finding a new sense of self-importance, it's not a stretch of the imagination that they want to lock you up. They want you gone. If you think for yourself, they want you locked in a cage. Big government seems to be increasingly insisting that they need to run your life. They need to control what you do, what you think, what you say.
Government can go fuck off with how corrupt it's gotten.
And horrifically, there is more and more people seemingly wanting to lap that up, seemingly wanting to enjoy that, to live by that. Like these people in the government are just our overlords and we must listen to them. It is a great societal contagion of the 21st century and we should all fear it. And what I'm talking about in today's video is a great example of the shit that we face as a people. But first, this.
A vegan and a vegetarian are jumping off a cliff to see who will hit the bottom first. Who wins?
I don't know.
Who wins?
Society.
We weren't expecting that.
I love Australia. Now, let's dive in. This is from the Daily Mail, so you know it's good. Deliberately calling someone by the wrong gender pronouns may land you in jail for 2 years under Labour.
Okay. This I find this extremely fucking stupid. If someone calls you by the pronoun that you are not identifying as, just let them know that's not what you identify as. If someone calls you a male and you identify as a female, let them know that, hey, I'm actually female. And, vice versa. Calling somebody by the wrong pronoun should not in any way, shape, or form get you in trouble with the law. And to make it to where you get in trouble with the law is one of the most fucking stupid things society has done. Whether it be in Australia, the UK, the EU, here in America, or wherever, it is the dumbest fucking thing. One of the dumbest fucking things we can put into law. Excuse me. There are so many more important things to worry about than somebody calling you by the wrong pronoun. I mean, are you such a sensitive snowflake that somebody calling you by the wrong pronoun hurts your delicate feelings? Really? I mean, come on. Can you grow up just a little bit?
Here it is. Big government trying to wedge themselves in between everything that we do, how we speak, how we think, and that is fucked.
I mean, here's the thing. If you want me to call you by the pronoun to which you identify as, if you're a male and you want to identify as a female, if you're a female, if you want to identify as a male, I will gladly call you whichever one you identify as, because that is the kind and respectful thing to do. Now, if you want to be a fuckhead and try and force my speech, then no, I'm not going to respect your decision, because you're being a dumbass and you're trying to force me to do something that I legally don't have to do. Just no. You want me to call you something, respectfully ask me. If you're going to be a dick about it, then I'm not going to do it. Because you're being a dick about it and you're not being respectful about it, I'm not going to give you the same respect. That's how this shit should go.
Mate, to use the Australian expression, to put it simply, that is fucked. But before we get into the article, perhaps we should ask ourselves a question. What is more important? Is it more important to be A, polite, or B, accurate? Because, if you're having a conversation with someone, maybe it's nicer just to be polite.
Yeah, you can be both polite and accurate. Now, if you want to be just polite and respectful, That's fine. If you want to be accurate, that's fine too. Because the thing is, when it comes to this whole thing, I think the only place that doesn't need to be polite but needs to be accurate is when you go to the doctor. Now, when you go to the doctor, they need to know the gender to which you were born biologically as, because that way they know how to properly treat you. Because the way a female's body operates is different to how a male body operates, and they need to be treated differently in the medical field because they operate differently. Our bodies are not the same biologically. If you keep telling a doctor that you're female that when you're actually biologically male, he might give you the wrong treatment and it's not going to help you. That in the medical field, they don't need to be polite. They shouldn't be polite. They need to be accurate. Anywhere else, yeah, you could be polite because it's not life-threatening to be accurate when it comes to saving you or treating you. Out in the real world and not in the medical field, you could just be polite. Now, the politeness will go out the window if you're being a dick, and then they'll just be accurate and not polite.
But if you're making laws, then you should definitely try and just be accurate rather than being polite. Accuracy
I agree.
is taking a back seat, and we are creating laws based on doctrine.
We're also making laws for these people who are in such a minority that we're just saying fuck the majority. What the fuck? We're supposed to uproot our lives and change everything for such a small for such a small amount of people over the majority of the population of the world? No. Just no.
That's fucking stupid, mate. Let me ask a follow-up question. Are you willing to fight for your freedom of speech? Or are you one of those people that thinks freedom of speech is a bad thing? Are you one of those? Why? What is wrong with you? I don't think there are that many people out there that want to fight for our freedom to speak however we want. And I know with freedom of speech comes speech that you won't like, but that's part and parcel of it. You need to be able to hear things that you disagree with. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there is a whole group of people, perhaps even a majority.
Yes, in this day and age, we seem to run into a lot of people who cannot handle a single person that disagrees with them. You need people who disagree with you so you can have debates and discussions and figure out shit. You can't just find somebody who disagrees with you and then shun them from everything. That just stunts progress with everything. You need people who disagree with you so you can have, debates and shit. If you have nobody that disagrees with you and you make some decision and it's not a totally right decision to make, and you have nobody who disagrees with you because they're so afraid to disagree with you, then you're going to fuck something up. You need people who disagree with you. You need these people. Now, some of them, yeah, you don't need them because they're just doing it based off feeling and not actual logical thinking. But you need a lot of these intellectual people who are logically thinking who disagree with you because all you're going off is just your feelings.
Of people that are willing to just take the government's word for everything. Listen to them with everything. Bow down to them on everything. Look at the events of the last few years. How many people were silent and just accepted every single thing that they were told to accept? Now, on the pronouns thing, if someone wants to be called a she, I'm going to be polite and say that because I'm a nice fucking guy. Don't let this shirt fool you. I'm a nice dude. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say she wherever I can. If Dave wants to be Amy, then she is a hot fucking Dave. Mind your manners is a phrase that lots of us were brought up with, but I tell you what, in some respects, we need to throw our manners out the fucking window and just focus on reality for just a moment, because the reality that we will live in is going to be a really to put it bluntly, and to put it in the most bogan terms possible, this is all fucking super fucking fucked, mate. Fucked. The world we live in and the world is becoming increasingly fucked. And with people like Gen Z at the helm, like they will be soon, that's, to use the fucking same expression I've used in this video already, but it absolutely encapsulates how outrageous this is. Ready? It's fucked. Fucked. We now live in a world where if you use the wrong pronouns, you will go to jail. Possibly. But even having that as a possibility is fucked. Those elected by us are making laws for us to go to jail because of words that we use. Who the fuck are you, mate, to say what is and is not appropriate? What sounds are okay and what aren't? And who must be protected at all costs? Real life politicians want you locked up for this shit. That's crazy. Deliberately calling someone...
I think just at this point, they're only making the laws because of these. They're just basically known as Karens. They're people who are fucking complaining. They're just doing this to appease the minority of these people who are so fragile in their own emotions, in their own person, that they can't handle being called something other than what they want to be called. And sometimes they get called that by mistake, and instead of being calm and saying, "Hey, can you please call me this instead of that because this is how I identify as." Instead of being calm and polite like that, they go fucking nuts and ballistic. They complain at them, they complain at the manager, they complain online, they complain to fucking anyone and anything. And then you get all these dumbasses who think just like them, and they get enough of them behind them. They complain at their lawmaking people, and then these people just, it's all fucked.
Someone by the wrong gender pronouns could become a hate crime, punishable by imprisonment under a Labor government.
It's not a hate crime. It's not. It's not hate speech. It's not hate crime. It's not. These people have no idea what a hate crime actually is. Go back 60 to 80 years. You'll learn about hate crimes.
It's certainly impolite, but it shouldn't be illegal. Also, if you're a trans person, why would you want someone referring to you as your chosen gender pronoun only because they're scared of going to jail? Is that something you actually want? Wouldn't that make you feel
there are
like
people
a
who want
lesser
that.
part of society? Why would anyone want to be a protected class? No human worth their weight wants pity. And that's what this law is. It's a pity law. It's akin to being in first grade and someone going, "Oh, are you okay? Can we look after you specially?" No one wants to be, well, I guess some people do. Some people want to be spoken to like that. But no one who is a worthwhile part of society would ever want that. This is back to...
I would hate if somebody talked down to me like that. I hate it when somebody tries to talk to me like I'm some incompetent dumbass who doesn't know the world around me. It makes me so angry. It's like if the person talks to me like that, I just want to punch them in the face and say, "Shut the fuck up and don't ever talk to me like that again."
To the article and talking about the Labor government bringing in these laws. They're vowing to toughen up sentencing guidelines for abuse and violence targeted at trans people. Now, obviously, violence is never okay, regardless of why you do it, unless it's self-defense, right? And if you are violent towards trans people, then you should be punished to the full extent of the law.
Agreed.
But we're not talking about violence, aren't we? We're talking about words, sounds, that people find a little bit rude.
Yeah, I find it hilarious when there are people who mistake violence for just calling somebody something else. It cannot be considered violence unless it has become physical, because violence is associated with something physical. You can't shout at somebody and not ever touch them and be considered violent. No, you're just considered a loud, annoying dumbass. Violence is associated with being physical, not with anything else. Or, with something that has to physically happen to you through anger or something like that. It's a violent act, like being hit, being shot at, being cut, something like that. That is actual violence. Shouting at somebody, yelling at somebody, calling somebody names or something like that is not considered violence. No matter what you think, in reality, it is not considered violence.
Labor would make a tax motivated by hatred of the victim's gender. Even saying that, Jesus Christ, gender identity.
This entire thing, these people, all they're doing is playing the victim card. That's all that's really happening. I mean, sure, there are actual victims, and we should help those who are actual victims. But then there are these people who try and play the victim card just to get pity points or something, and get others in trouble. What they're doing is painting this entire thing in a bad light for those who are actually victims. And those people who are doing this to those actual victims, who are playing the victim card, need to shut the fuck up and go away.
Identity into aggravated offences. The problem with all of this is that saying that men can't have babies is now violence and a hate crime, right?
Oh my God. Okay. Saying men can't have children is not violence or a hate crime. It's just biological fact. Men cannot and never will be able to have kids. At least we don't have the technology now to biologically change a female into a male or a male into a female. We just don't have that technology. Because men can't have kids for one simple reason. We don't have a uterus. We cannot produce eggs. We have testicles and we produce sperm. Men cannot have babies. Trans men can have babies. That's the thing. Trans men can have children because they are still biologically women. Now, men and trans women cannot have kids because they are biologically males. And biological men cannot have kids. Now, if you're going to say men can have kids, you need to say trans men can have kids. You can't just leave out the trans part. It just makes you look like some ignorant dumbass who doesn't know biological facts.
Right? That, ladies and gentlemen, and thee, thems, and she, hers, and fucking z's, hers, is madness. This would bring transphobic abuse into line with assault and harassment motivated by hatred on the grounds of race or religion. Okay? Which are punishable by up to 2 years in prison. If you injure someone, hurt someone, attack someone, then yeah, 2 years probably isn't even enough. You should definitely get jail time if you do shit like that. That's not okay. But what if you make an honest mistake? We saw that TikToker just last week going around complaining to managers because people were using the wrong gender pronoun.
This person, I swear to God, this person just goes to these places just to see if somebody will call, I'll call her because they identify as a female, just to go to these places and see if somebody will call her a he, even though she is biologically male. And then her entire thing is based on her complaining to a manager about one of their servers. I don't understand these content creators who just try and get views off shit like this. We don't need this shit on the internet. These type of people don't need a platform because all they're doing is playing the victim card. It's fucking annoying.
When that particular trans lady was ordering...
Oh, I was called sir. Boo fucking who. Does being called the wrong pronoun really affect you at all? I mean, seriously, does it affect you mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically? No. In no way, shape, or form does it. And if you get called the wrong thing, just politely let them know, hey, I would like it if you would call me this instead of that. Just be a fucking adult about it. Don't be a whiny little bitch like this one is.
Fucking food like this. Yeah, mate, can I get the fucking steak medium fucking rare? And then she got called a sir and she got upset. Should those waiters go to jail? Should they? Is an honest mistake a hate crime? No one should be locked up for words. That's crazy. That's some fucking 1984 shit. I'll tell you the first person to be locked up, J.K. Rowling. She tweeted this the other day. No. That's in response to this image. Repeat after us. Trans women are women. Fucking J.K., get her in prison now. She is the hate crime aficionado. Maybe to some people what she's saying is a little bit mean, but it's also correct.
All right, let's be in reality and factually correct. Are trans women women? Physically, depending on how much work you get, yes, you can be. Biologically, no, you are not. I'm sorry to say, but no, biologically, trans women are not women. Trans women are still biologically men. Now, are trans men men? Biologically, again, no. Trans men are still biologically women. Now, this needs to be said because there are some people who live in this reality who apparently mentally do not. Who believe that trans women and trans men are biologically men and women, which is just not factually true. Now, if trans women and trans men want to be called men and women, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't go around telling people that trans women don't go around telling people that I want to be a mom. I want to get pregnant. How? It is not biologically possible for you to get pregnant because you have nothing to create a child in your own body. You can get somebody else pregnant and create a child that way, but you cannot biologically be a mother. It is impossible. Now, saying all this, I gotta let you people know I got nothing wrong with trans people. Nothing wrong with them. If it makes them feel happy to transition to the other gender, by all means, go for it. I do, however, want to add this: if you are going to get bottom surgery, please, for the love of God, make sure you really think about that, because that is, especially for biological men, if you get bottom surgery for transitioning into a woman, that's irreversible. Once you get that done, you can't go back. So I implore you, please think about it before you get bottom surgery. But that being said, a lot of these trans people really need to start living in reality and start thinking factually.
Last year, a Christian preacher was convicted of harassing a transgender woman by calling her a man and a gentleman. David McConnell was given a 12-month community order for leaving Farah Munir emotionally distraught after an argument between the two while he was preaching on the streets in Leeds.
All right, here's the thing with this example. Now, if the preacher who was calling this trans woman a man, if the trans woman was letting the preacher know, hey, I identify as a female, could you please call me female? Now, after that, if the preacher just continuously kept calling that trans woman a man, despite her asking him to stop doing that, then at that point, that preacher's just being a dick. Then he can go fuck off. But to give him any sort of legal repercussion it's pretty dumb. It's pretty stupid. I mean, he didn't assault this trans woman. He didn't do anything to this trans woman that would be considered battery or assault or anything. He was just being a dick. Should he get in legal trouble for being a dick? No. He's just being a dick. Just tell him to fuck off.
12 months. He went to court over that. That's an actual punishment just for being rude. That's absolutely crazy. Now, to be fair, it was eventually overturned, but he was still convicted of it in the first place. Holy shit. And this is something that's happening all over the world. Look at Scotland. Their hate crime bills are fucking credible. Even if you were talking about something uncouth at your dinner table with your family, you could be locked up if someone walks past your window and hears it. That's what's happening in Scotland. There was another case, Kate Scotto, who described herself as a radical feminist who was arrested in front of her children and later convicted of malicious communications for a string of messages directed at a trans activist on Twitter, including referring to the activist as a man and as a pig in a wig. Once again, rude shouldn't be illegal. This all comes down to compelled speech. Should you be forced to speak in a certain way and
No, nobody should force you to speak in a certain way. That goes against all things that is freedom of speech. You should be able to say what you want. Now, here's the thing. There are consequences to what you say, so you should be careful what you say to who you say. Because some people are sensitive enough where they will physically attack you for what you say. So, say what you want, but you're going to have to deal with the consequences. Because freedom of speech protects you from the government, but it does not protect you against individuals who do not like what you say and will probably physically retaliate to what you say. So you can say what you want, but be careful what you say to whom you say it to, because they can have physical retaliation. But again, should you be controlled on what you say and how you say it? No, you shouldn't. Nobody should be controlled on that. That's just, it's ridiculous, it's stupid, and it's illogical.
To that I say fuck no. And I imagine you think pretty similarly to me. Returning to the original question, should we be a polite or be accurate? We always have to be accurate. If you're talking to your grandma, yeah, sure, be polite.
Accuracy is always better than being polite. But be polite when you can. It's because it's the respectful thing to do.
Giggle at things. She doesn't understand Google. Ha 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 ha. But if you're writing a fucking law that's going to lock someone in a cage, just fucking try to be accurate. Don't roll on your back and just let the government have their way with you. Fucking stand up for what you believe in, ladies and gents. This is absolute craziness. And this shit's happening in Australia too, right? The Australian government's misinformation bill that they're going to put in front of the parliament next year is all about misinformation and stopping misinformation. Well, here's a question. Who decides what misinformation is? I'll leave you with that to ponder. If you choose to honor someone's choice to be called something different, a nice request from them, then that's up to you. You should never, however, be locked up in a cage, have your freedoms taken away because you didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East, Midex stinks. Let us know what you think. And shout out to all the good motherfuckers that have come and seen me live over the last couple of weeks. It's been fantastic. I can't wait for my massive tour next year. We're going all over the world. It's going to be great. We'll see you very soon. Toodaloo, au revoir. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching the video. Make sure you hit subscribe and check out isaacbutterfield.com for all my tour dates. Check out the second channel that I do with my wife, Little Buttsman, and the Pokemon channel as well. My wife and I also have a podcast called The Mum and Dad Show. It is on Spotify and YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, we have videos coming out almost every day on this channel. We'll see you very soon.
All right. That was this video. This is illegal by Isaac Butterfield. Now, I would like to know what you all think in the comments below about this entire thing. I'd be interested to know all your opinions. You've all heard mine. Anyways, if there are any other videos you'd like to see me react to, please make sure to comment them either down below or over on my Discord. The link to my Discord will be in the description. I do have a channel over on Twitch that I stream to every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope to see you all there. I would love for you all to give me a follow, and I would love to speak to you all while I stream. I hope links to everything will be in the description below. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.